was a bad time, one of the worst, and I was the only lawman worth a damn in that godless town. It's not an easy job being the eyes and ears of justice in a city so corrupt. The stench of the underworld permeates even the upper reaches of society.
Please, someone, get a doctor.
I'm a veterinarian. He's dead. There's nothing anyone could have done.
Nobody move. Everything is going to change. Starting now. The murderer is still in the room, and none of you are leaving until I solve this case. Get me a ham sandwich and a scotch. No ice. Make yourselves comfortable. These are the facts.
Yeah.
The victim is your husband, Mrs. Van Vaughan?
Late husband. And you can call me Ruby, Mr.
Clifford Hayes, private eye. Your late husband, the victim, was
Stabbed in the back.
During the peak of the party, which was...
rather dull, from the looks of it.
The party was celebrating my late husband's 41st birthday.
Happily married.
Oh, who is these days? Surely you can't be thinking that I had anything to do with this. $1 million in life insurance meant nothing to me, truly. You can't accuse a grieving widow.
In the name of justice, no one is above the law. Where were you when you heard the shots fired?
What shot? The man was stabbed to death.
Are you disputing the facts, Mr. Chavez? Where the hell is my ham sandwich?
This is ridiculous. I would never kill Mr. Van Vaughan. I loved him like a brother.
I would never kill Philip. I loved him as if I was his own sister.
Why would I kill Mr. Van Vaughan? I loved him like a close cousin.
He was the only family I had!
Enough! I've gathered sufficient evidence. This has been an upsetting night. I'm sure I'll get some shut-eye. I'll have this case closed by morning. They were a strange bunch, and each of them had a motive for wanting to do in the late businessman. It was a tough case, one of the toughest, and I knew that I would have to spend a considerable amount of time with the broad. She seemed distant, although not altogether sad, as if her old man had been dead for years. Good evening, dollface. Must be tough, sleeping alone for the first time in a long while.
Yes, I just couldn't sleep.
Well, maybe I can help. Exquisite.
Thank you.
I was speaking of the frame, Mrs. Van Vaughan.
Your taste in frames is impeccable.
There was trouble written in every curve of her body.
Oh, please excuse the blood on my hands.
Well, hello. I was just getting a glass of hot milk.
I suggest we get some rest. Sleep deprivation can be detrimental to anyone's health. My mind is already becoming dull. I barely slept a wink that night. As I watched them eating their Cheerios, I knew that no amount of crunchy whole grains could stop one of them from killing again, no matter how good it was for your heart.
Pass the Cheerios?
I simply can't bear the tension.
Have you solved the case, detective?
I've examined all the clues and have come to the only possible conclusion. Nothing has slipped by me, and I shall now expose the murderer to you all. Last night, at the party, the picture frame was gone from the wall during the time of the murder. There is blood on the corner, and the stab wounds on the body are all perfectly 90 degrees. Similarly, the victim was laying in a fashion alluding to the right angle. Now, some of you may think that this is a naturally occurring phenomenon for someone who had been repeatedly stabbed in the head. But I have identified this correctly as Mr. Van Vaughn's last attempt to communicate with the living world, and to indicate the identity of his killer. Last night I had encountered the murderer on his way to cover up the evidence, confirming my suspicions. It was undoubtedly Lenny, getting a glass of hot milk, but in truth, returning to the scene of the crime.
I always knew you were trigger
The
happy.
man was stabbed. Good God.
Let's take him down to the station.
What are you doing? I was just getting hot milk.
Well, looks like my work is done.
Don't you want to collect a witness statement?
Yes, if it's thorough. It was a rough night, one of the roughest. By the end of the night, I had been strained to my utmost capacity, but I had cracked the case wide open. Even while the facts had eluded me and the crook had evaded me, now there was a sense of fulfilled duty in bringing balance again to our fragile world.